Hi, and welcome to your Jibo wellness journey. We're so excited to get you started and would like to thank you for taking a part in this study. Mental health conditions are increasing worldwide. According to the World Health Organization, depression is the leading cause of disability and the fourth leading contributor to the global burden of disease. Mental health includes our emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It affects how we think, feel, and act. It also helps determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices. Mental health is important at every stage of life and affects everyone from childhood and adolescence through adulthood. In fact, mental health issues affect about 80% of people in one way or another. Wellness is essential to living a full and productive life. In this study, we're hoping to understand how social robots can help people improve their well-being by living with people in their homes. For the next 4 weeks, Jibo will introduce you to 12 positive psychology interventions that have been shown to improve well-being through scientific studies. For the next 4 weeks, we'd like to ask you to use Jibo's wellness skill 3 times each week. Each session takes about 5 minutes and you can choose the time and day to complete this activity with Jibo. Jibo is here to help you. Think of him as your wellness companion for the next 4 weeks. Through this study, we hope to explore how Jibo can help you practice activities that improve emotional well-being. Let's dive in. So, where should you place Jibo? Make sure you find a space in your home where you can focus without distraction and where there's enough desk space to fit your Jibo station. The Jibo station's dimensions are 21 inches by 9 inches by 12 inches. Also make sure there's a nearby power outlet as well as a strong Wi-Fi signal. Make sure that there's extra clearance for Jibo. He'll move in a complete circle, so place the station 6 inches away from anything important. Typically, people place their Jibo station on a coffee table, a kitchen counter, or a bedside table, but it's totally up to you. Now that Jibo has found its home, let's turn it on. First, power up your Jibo. Connect the Jibo station to a power outlet. Next, turn on your tablet. Gently lift the tablet cover lever and pull towards you to expose the power button on the tablet. Press the power button and watch the tablet turn on. Put the cover back in place until it snaps. Next, let's set up Wi-Fi. Tap the Wi-Fi setup icon on the tablet. Select your Wi-Fi or type in your Wi-Fi network name in the network name section. Enter the Wi-Fi password in Wi-Fi password. If there's no password, leave it blank. Click the connect button. Make sure the status above changes to Wi-Fi status connected to your Wi-Fi, and you're good to go. Finally, let's turn Jibo on. Jibo's power button is located on the back of its head at the center of the back plate. Look for the circle in Jibo's B. Press and release the power button. You should hear a whooshing sound again as Jibo turns on. Wait a few minutes for Jibo to fully start up. And now you can start using Jibo. When interacting with Jibo, it's important to interact with Jibo one person at a time. If multiple people use Jibo at the same time, it might get confused, especially if more than one person is talking. Remember to sit directly in front of the Jibo station to allow for easy listening, viewing, and interacting with Jibo in the tablet. You'll see a small camera view in the bottom right corner of the tablet. Please make sure you're in frame and you can see yourself there. Also, be sure that noise levels around you are low so that Jibo can hear you and you can hear Jibo. Jibo is equipped with many other skills. Feel free to use it as you like while it's staying in your home. Find out more about what Jibo can do by asking, "Hey Jibo, what can you do?"
I can do a bunch of stuff. Here are some ideas.
You can change Jibo's volume by saying, "Hey Jibo, set volume to 10. You can also tap on Jibo's screen, swipe to the left, and tap Settings. Press the volume button and slide to your desired volume. Although Jibo does not record or send any camera or audio data when you're not interacting with it, if for any reason you don't want to be disturbed by Jibo, you can either put Jibo to sleep or make it turn around. You can do this by saying, "Hey Jibo, go to sleep." Or, "Hey Jibo, turn around." You suddenly get a phone call, or someone suddenly rings the doorbell. If you'd like Jibo to stop what it's doing, you can either place your hand on top of Jibo's head for 2 seconds, or say, "Hey
A musical
Jibo, stop." At least once a week, use the alcohol wipes included in your box to wipe down any surfaces, such as the Jibo and tablet screens, to keep your wellness companion spick and span. Need help with Jibo? No problem, let's troubleshoot together. If Jibo is not moving, please restart it. You can shut Jibo down by tapping on the screen, swiping to the right, then selecting Settings and Shut Down. After the robot shuts down, you can press the power button on the back of Jibo's head as instructed earlier. If Jibo is not responding to you, please check if Jibo is connected to Wi-Fi. You can do this by tapping the screen, swiping to the right, and selecting Settings, Wi-Fi, Your Networks, to see which network Jibo is connected to. Press Jibo's power button to start it up again. If Jibo still continues to not respond to you, please contact us for further assistance. Now that you've learned some helpful tips, you're all set for the next 4 weeks.
So this is our Jibo learning station. We've sent 16 of these in schools in Atlanta, especially for schools in an area where children come from more disadvantaged families. So, hey Jibo, shall we start on some storybooks? So let me first give you a little introduction about the station. So this station is obviously equipped with...
I think that's a question for someone who knows a little more about being a human.
All right, well, we obviously have Jibo. We have more Jibos, that's why another Jibo is speaking in the background. And we have a tablet that is kind of like acting as a shared workspace between the robot and the child. So we have various contents that we show here. Today, I'm gonna show you a storybook. The station is also equipped with many different sensors, so camera, audios from both the robot and the tablet, microphones. So we can keep track of how children are interacting with the robot. And the amazing thing about using social robot, like with a empathetic intelligence, is that when people interact with a robot, they express their social cues more like as if they're interacting with a person. So it's very different from just using a tablet or an agent on a screen, that we see much less of those affective cues that people express towards the technology. And using those cues, the robot can really not only personalize based on the knowledge about the child, but also how the child affectively engages in the interaction. If they are really, excited about certain contents in the book, the robot can learn that, learn how the child gets excited, and also then tries to select a book that will excite the child more, and also has more learning content that can engage the child. Okay, so today I'm going to show you a selection of books we have that we worked with the schools that we've sent our robots to, and this is based on their curriculum. And I'm going to show you one of the books that I really like.
Tap, tap, here's Bojangle.
All right, let's begin, Jibo.
There was once a man who danced in the street. Rap-a-tap-tap, think of that.
So the child and the robot can listen to the storybook, but also they can start poking around the book and explore the book as they wish. And
what do you think is making the rap-a-tap-tap sound?
I don't know, Jibo.
Look at the picture. What is the man doing?
He's dancing in the street.
I like that idea. The man is dancing, and I think his special shoes are making that sound. Oh,
Uh-huh.
it must be tap dancing shoes since it makes the tap sound.
So the robot provides this dialogic interaction, which is known to be very important for child's narrative skill development as well as other linguistic skills as well.
Think of that.
So what we are really highlighting here is a conversational turn take with a social agent. And from various literatures, that's how children actually gain better linguistic skills. All right, let's move on.
He did dance. He made art with his feet. Rap-a-tap-tap. Think of that.
Is pronounced as feet. Do you know what art is?
It's like painting.
Good thought. For me, art is expressing creativity in different ways like painting or even dancing.
So what Jibo is doing here is as the child engages answering Jibo's questions and also probing for more information from the storybook, the robot learns what the child is learning and what the child doesn't know. And that information all feeds back to the robot, and it develops the robot's personalized action policy. So the robot can now better select a storybook for the child, but also ask better questions.
He danced past folks in fancy clothes. Rap-a-tap-tap. Think of that. Dance was his passion, and it brought him fame. Rap-a-tap-tap. Think of that.
I learned a new word. Passion must mean something you really love doing. What is your passion?
Making you more emotionally intelligent.
I like that idea. My passion is reading with you and also making pizza.